What's good, guys? It's Joseph, and today I got another animation type motion graphics tutorial for you guys. Before we get started, I want to go ahead and say thank you guys for staying with me across the years. We're at 10,000 subscribers and we're still growing from here. It's just, I haven't really been the most consistent uploader, but it's just super motivating to see that you guys are still enjoying the content when I can push it out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and keep going and keep making videos, and hopefully we can keep growing from here. So today it's gonna be a pretty interesting one. I've been doing these little like daily animations, or as much as I can, and one of the ones I came up with was making like a 3D camera going through 2D text and make it basically like a 3D type scene thing. And so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you guys what we're gonna be creating. It's gonna be right here. Should be on the screen. I'm not gonna show you guys how to do like the stylized like motion thing around the text. I'm just gonna show you guys the camera work, and maybe I'll probably show you guys how to make it loop seamlessly. But you can probably figure that out on your own, just in case I don't. And basically, this is just two words, and then the camera is going through the letters and then revealing the next word. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna make my composition here. I have it 1,000 by 1,000. That was actually a 20 frame per second animation, but for the sake of the video, it doesn't actually matter. And so I guess I'll just use motion and design in it again. So I'm just gonna go ahead and type motion. I'm going to use a different font. I'll just use the same font. The font I used is called Upgrade. And I used did I use bold? I think I used bold. Upgrade, if you have Adobe fonts, it's just a font on there that you can use. So I'm just going to go ahead and center this thing up. Alright. I'm going to make it a 3D layer. Alright, so toggle switches and modes, make this a 3D layer, and then duplicate it, and then I am going to hide this, and then I'm going to make this say design. So now you got motion design. And so now, if I go to position here, you got a Z space position. So I'm going to actually, before I mess around with that, I'm going to make a new camera. And then 35 millimeters should be good. So now we got the camera going. I am going to go ahead and move this design text back into Z space. So I'm going to push it back just a little bit. Doesn't necessarily matter how much. But let's put it back. Let's just do 1,000. We'll see how it looks. I'm going to turn motion on. I'm going to go ahead and go to the top view and kind of see. Okay, so this is the motion right here. At least it should be, and I think that's the design. I'm going to go back to active camera. All right. So now that we have this, I'm going to go ahead and hide the design so I can actually see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to animate the camera. Or I'm gonna go ahead and make a new null object first, and then I'm gonna parent this camera to the null object, and then all I have to do is animate the null's position. That's a pretty easy way to animate the camera. I'm gonna press P. You see how it doesn't actually have the Z space, so I'm gonna make it a 3D layer, and now it does. So now press P on the P for position on the null object. I am going to make a keyframe at the very beginning, and then I'm going to move forward. I'll probably just go like 1 second, and you can always change where these keyframes are. And so now I am just going to go ahead and go forward right until I hit the text, and I'm going to go ahead and go to this camera, and I'm going to turn off depth of field. I don't think I used it in that animation that I showed you. I mean, you could use it and you can give it a really cool effect, but I don't think I actually did. I'm gonna move Nope, not up. Gonna move to the left because I want to be going into this circle right here. And so there you go. And so you can kind of see I'm going into the circle. Or at least it appears as if I am. And then if I turn on design, I'm going to keep going forward. And then you can make another keyframe and then go here to like center it up, or you might even be able to just center it up right here. It just depends. I think I might make, let's see. Here's what I'll do. I'll go back to where it just barely like goes into the circle right here, and that'll be the keyframe there. And then I'm going to turn design on so I can see it. And then I'm going to go forward just a little bit. And then I'm going to go forward. And then I'm going to go back and then kind of center this up. If you want it to be perfect, just go to tile action safe. And you can kind of center it up that way. But I think this is good. It's technically in the middle because it's at 500 again. So I think it's fine. So now you can kind of see, there you go. And I might even, you can push this forward a little bit to make it look good. You might actually have to move this forward in Z space a little bit, and I'll just push this back just to make it, because I want it to still be moving forward after we go through the O right here, because it kind of looked like it was just going straight to the right. So I'm going to move this back, and then I'm going to move this forward, just like that. So there you go. Pretty easy, right? So it's looking good. And obviously you're going to want to do some easing with the keyframes, but we'll worry about that here in a second. I just want to get this animation down. So now that we have it down, you can kind of see we are in a spot to where we can see design through the letters. And obviously, naturally you would be able to see that because there's space in between the letters, but that's not really what I want. And so here's what I did to make it to where I kind of made a mask around this O right here. So there's a few ways you can do this. Here's what I'll say. There's probably an easier way to do what I'm gonna do right now. But it's okay. Actually, here, I want to see if this works. I'm gonna show you guys something really quick. I just thought about this. All right, make a circle, and I'm gonna make it pretty much as big as this circle right here. Maybe make it a little bigger. All right. And now I'm going to parent this circle. I'm going to put it on top. I'm going to go ahead and name this like mask or something. So now I'm going to put this on top of like I think put it on top of design. Yep. And then parent this layer right here. I'm going to make it a 3D layer. Yeah, you're going to have to make it a 3D layer. Make it a 3D layer and then put it on top of this O right here. After you've done that, go ahead and parent this to motion. So now it's going to stick where motion is. All right. And then if you do that, go to design. Go to none, where it says none. You're going to want to go toggle switches and modes to where you can change the alpha matte or whatever. You can kind of change them here. If you just go to alpha matte, there you go. You can see that it only shows the circle, or like it only shows like what's in the circle, you know? And I'm going to go ahead and start. Let's see. There's a few frames in the beginning. You can see where the D from design shows up. So maybe I'll just have it start later. No, that doesn't make sense. We're going to have to move it further back, which is fine. Okay, there you go. It's moved further back. You can't see it until the animation actually starts to move. So there you go. And this is just like little tiny things and details that you'll be able to see as you animate, because not everything is going to be the same. There you go. Okay, that actually worked really well. And so now you can see that little mask is moving up. But now you can tell that it's going to go away as soon as like the mask is gone. And then so after that, you'll basically just want to have like another duplicate of this one on top and just get rid of it before it goes away, and then it's just kind of there. But make sure it's just no track matte. See? And now, there you go. And that's it. That's all you gotta do. Isn't that cool? So to make it a little bit more interesting, what you can do with this, say I'm going to my null right here, make sure the null is selected, go to your top view. You can go to 2 views, and then I'll do horizontal, so you can still see what's going on if you want to. This one is going to be the top view, and you can kind of see the path for the null is curved, which is what you want. If it wasn't, I didn't mean to do that. You can kind of take your little tool, and then you can change how, like I just clicked on the pen tool, and you can change how it moves. And so if you want it to be a little bit crazy, like it moved that way, this way, and then back that way. So it kind of has a little bit of momentum going this way, and then it shoots over there, then it goes back. And it's just little things like that that you can change, and then it might add a little bit more variety or just a different look that you're going for and stuff like that. I think you can get really creative with this. You can even animate like the rotation of the camera. Like you can rotate this null, not like that, like this, as you're moving. I'm not really going to play with that because I didn't really do it. But that's pretty much it. And obviously, I'm probably not going to show you guys how to loop it seamlessly because this video is already about 15 minutes long. So I'll tell you how to do it, and then you can try it on your own and see if you can get it to work. Basically, what you have to do is, so you see how this goes from motion to here to design, and obviously the scale is going to be a little bit different. So to fix that, you're going to want to press U, look at the keyframes for the null, and then just move the last one forward in the Z space until it's about the same scale as like the motion was in the beginning. So this actually, it looked like I did it perfectly. So there you go. That's it for that. That's all you have to do to fix that. And then to loop it seamlessly, I think I had the camera go through the G. I'm honestly not sure, but it doesn't really matter which one you have it go to. You just want to do the same thing we did, go starting from here and going through the O. Do that same thing going through a letter. Like you can even have it go through this D right here, in between the E and the S, or whatever, in the G. And so do that, have the camera move there, and then have another iteration of motion behind this design. So like make a new layer of motion, put it behind the design, and then just have it go through that, and then have the last frame that you have here. So like this is my last frame for this animation where it has design, and if nothing happens after that, do that for motion, and then have that frame match up perfectly with this, because you want it to look the exact same, because then it's just going to start over again. And then that's it. And just make sure that you take your keyframes and you highlight them, right click keyframe assistant, make sure you easy ease those, make sure you play around with the speed graph, or the value graph, make sure you get a nice look for that. You can do whatever you want. So that looks pretty funky, so I probably wouldn't do that. I'd probably go and just mess around with it. Keep doing stuff, keep changing it. Don't be satisfied with your first try. Just try to get something nice. But that's pretty much it. Like that's how you do this effect. And if you stuck around to the end of the video, that's awesome. I hope you guys learned something about using cameras in After Effects, because you can do some pretty crazy stuff with it as long as you try and be creative. So that's just a little something to show you guys. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you again for 10,000 subscribers. Like, that's crazy, bro. If you have any questions or anything, I read all the comments. DMs are open on Twitter, stuff like that. All that's in the description. Other than that, hope you guys have a great rest of the day. I'm out. Peace.